They'll start this drive in the air. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's second down.
The tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. First down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Cordero Patterson, his 25th touchdown. And now out comes Minnesota. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can just that.
There's so much more when you play defense and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And sprang the big guy.
And this is caught at the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Offense.
And a pass interference on the offense. You do not see that too often.
Yeah, the defense is usually the culprit these days, but it's pretty clear that this time the defender was in position and the receiver made contact with him. Way to go, officials.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's second down.
The coach is always hard on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rap.
When he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Looking, he's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 3 here on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the...
Now come the Vikings, and they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping that groove this go around.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needs the speed and the hands. Great catch.
As a defender, so you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. For him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hand's shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. That is caught at the 7. A nice gain of 21 yards. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football. Guess what? Throw it to fantastic.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us anything now. He said, here's the script for the game.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had an air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Offense lining up to him. They're gone. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 7 down. At the end of 1, 21-0 our score. EA Sports FNA returns following this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second comes with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darian, he's got daylight. He's the 50. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Comes Minnesota, and the interception thrown in the red zone last time. See if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, But he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me. Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone, throw it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
And he comes back with play. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Fresh set of downs here. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock it away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Going for the deep ball. He's got it with the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings find Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense.
That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Cordero Patterson. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll set up a throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Going up top. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. offense comes to line now, first and field. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground.
If they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Tight right. Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. Mike, check.
Again, Peterson. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop older and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, never truly over. I'm actually not even convinced that when they broke the was actually that's how he finishes runs in a big way.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adrian Peterson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But big runs to occur, the wide receivers have well downfield.
And then you... The Vikings now heading onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Left side caught by Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already...
And out comes Minnesota. And they were able to punch it in the end last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, it's just Matt's time on offense. They roll downfield, get into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we get it from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they put up this drive.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
I heard a coach talk about the late in the half, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Come the Vikings, they'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do and work accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Now thrown nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here, Whitehead in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More.
And now out's Minnesota, and they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays, one of your players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. They'll drop to throw. He got time. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down. He's lucky to be getting that one back. Now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They run from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on off to get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, not completion. A little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this side. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it all.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side.
Green, 39.
They'll answer this drive in the air. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And all the way up to the 47-yard line. Big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards. Let's discuss now this performance as it relates to the last one. You know, a week ago, and we saw it. Accuracy, he's displaying that again.
That was a fun film session for us, wasn't it? Able to kick back and watch him work. And what we saw was a confident leader, a guy in control, making excellent throws at times. And he's brought that with him.
Touchdown, Vikings! Stephon Diggs with an unbelievable 5th touchdown of the game. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And this Viking offense is running away.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. One of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
Green 39! Green 39!
They run again with Peterson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to fourth down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Here we go. Green 39! Green 39! Here we go, G!
Now a shotgun as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Looking to throw. Surveying the field. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. Down, Vikings. Cordero Patterson with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. The Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. It's sets him up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love it, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
Good call.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1 yard gain. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And it's third down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the third in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
The left side caught by Diggs. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the side is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10.
Remember how much we enjoyed watching him last week?
It's the same thing this week. Look at those numbers.
I'd hate to be a defender right now because no matter what they're throwing at him in terms of coverages, he's finding ways to defeat it. And even when he's covered, he's covered. Hey, what is he doing? What's that term they use? He's uncovering and making just really fun to watch. One thing I can say pretty safely, that one is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now they'll throw her out of the gun. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Cordero Patterson. Career-high 4-touchdown game. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that?
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being whooped?
I think the fat lady's hum. comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field. And now the final stages. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Well, go ahead. Man, you got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught at the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things?
And out now come the Vikings. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
It's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there. That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Pass interference. Offense. That penalty is declined.
Third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And that will write a finish to this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for minutes.